This traditional painting shows a warrior named Arjuna and his guide, Krishna, parked right in the middle of two massive opposing armies on the historical battlefield of Kurukshetra. For thousands of years, philosophers have interpreted this scene as more than a history lesson. They argue that the greatest war described in the Bhagavad Gita is happening inside your own mind. The armies lined up against each other represent your own conflicting desires, fears, and duties. Today, we are going to take that 2,000-year-old metaphor and turn it into a practical tool. By the end of this video, you will build a customized physical inner battlefield map to break through mental paralysis. To make this work, you have to do it physically. Pause the video, grab a blank piece of paper and a dark pen, and sit down at a desk. We often loop through anxieties in our heads for hours. Externalizing that invisible conflict onto a physical page forces your brain to organize the chaos. You have to see the enemy to fight it. Step 1. Draw a horizontal line across the top of your paper. Above that line, write the heading, My Kurukshetra. This space is for the exact crossroads you are standing at today, the moment where you have to choose between the comfortable path and the right path. Write down your specific conflict. For example, your crossroads might be staying in a safe job versus risking a new venture, or staying quiet versus speaking my truth. Be specific. Avoid broad terms like work stress or life. Generalities make it impossible to identify the actual forces at play. Naming the exact battle strips away the ambient noise of general anxiety. It locks your actual target into focus. This heavy bronze statue illustrates the scale of the Kauravas, the opposing army. On your map, this army represents the internal forces creating your paralysis. Draw a vertical line straight down the middle of your page. On the left side, write the title, The Kauravas, or Opposing Forces. The Gita identifies 5 specific forces within this army: ego, greed, fear, attachment, and doubt. Look closely at that list. The most prepared warriors in history felt these exact emotions when the stakes were high. Experiencing them is a standard part of any significant decision. Review the Kurukshetra you wrote at the top of the page. Now, look at the left column and circle the 1 or 2 specific forces that are actively stopping you from moving forward. Paralyzing emotions often gain their strength from being vague and unnamed. When you isolate them and label them on paper, you transition from feeling overwhelmed to observing the mechanics of your own fear. Now we assemble your allied army. In the text, these are the Pandavas. They represent your highest state of consciousness and clarity. Go to the right side of your page and write the title, The Pandavas, or Allied Forces. Your allied forces are equipped with 5 inner virtues: dharma, which means purpose or duty, courage, wisdom, devotion, and truth. Look at the specific demons you circled on the left. Scan the right side to find the exact counter-virtue required to face them. If your opposing force is fear, you deploy courage. If tangled in doubt, you draw a line straight to truth. For every psychological barrier paralyzing the mind, there is an equal active virtue already available in your consciousness, waiting to be deployed. This ancient Sanskrit manuscript records the climax of the Gita. It is the moment Arjuna freezes, drops his bow, and tells his charioteer the battle is simply too difficult. Krishna's response is direct. He does not suggest the battle will suddenly become easy. Instead, he tells Arjuna to shake off his faint-heartedness, arise, and act anyway. Look back at your map. Pick up your pen and draw a heavy circle around the single most important allied virtue on the right side of the page. Acknowledge the fear waiting on the left side of the page. Let it be there. Then, decide what your next physical action will be based on the virtue you just circled. Courage is not the absence of the opposing army. It is the decision to act from your highest self while the enemy remains. Look at what you've done. In 5 minutes, you took an invisible, overwhelming mental storm and turned it into a tangible, objective map. Awareness of the battlefield is the first step toward claiming victory over it. This map provides a visual record of your opposing forces and the specific virtue you've chosen to counteract them. Commit to this realization right now. Go down to the comments and type this sentence, My Kurukshetra is, and fill in the blank. Put your conflict on the record. Tomorrow, on day 3, we evaluate Arjuna's character directly. We will look at the exact psychological triggers that cause highly prepared people to break down under pressure. The wisdom in the Bhagavad Gita was preserved for centuries because it applies directly to the conflict you mapped out today. Subscribe so you don't miss day 3.